Hey Sarahon, what's up? Just got to watching your videos. I saw the earlier one, the spider and the flashlight, and I saw this one. Well, I should say this one, the latest one you put up, and I'm responding to that one because, well, everyone else had responded to spider and the flashlight, and I think pretty much what had to be said there was said there, and I would be repeating everything that everyone else said. It's more on what you're explaining in this latest vid that I feel I need to comment on, because that's something else I agree with. I can definitely say I identify with being, to put it mildly, highly disturbed by the people you describe. And I can definitely identify with the feeling that they kind of suck, you know, the life out of life. You know, there's so much beauty in the world and there's so much to marvel at. And we only have a brief moment in time to try to suck all that in. And many of us try to get as much as we can in our life. But then we bump into these individuals, these miscreants, and they kind of knock us off the path, so to speak. It's like, and what makes it worse is like they've devoted their entire lives to making everybody else miserable, and devoted to make everybody else not be able to, you know, achieve the most from life. And I'm not talking about in terms of materialistic success, you know, or careers or any of that BS. No, you know, finding ways to make life fulfilling. You know, whether it's, some people say spiritually, some people say emotionally, whatever, intellectually. You know, trying to get the most out of ourselves as well as out of life. Finding connections with people, exploring new venues of thought, finding new ways to live life and new insights into what it means to be a human being. You know, we're on these paths and we all try to find ways of connecting with each other. And then you got these people who not only get in the way of that, but then see that they make it their life's work to get in the way of that and to make everyone else around them miserable and submit to what's making them miserable. What I find ironic about this is that they're the ones complaining about devils and demons and these people on earth who are Satan's helpers, who are here specifically to fuck up God's chosen and to make their lives horrible. But the funny thing is, they are the people that they speak of. Not necessarily that they're working for Satan. No, fuck that. No, I'm talking about the sense that these people have committed themselves to making sure that everybody else is fucked up just like they are. It's sad is that they don't even realize it. They think that they're doing a good thing. Well, I'll take that back somewhat. Some of them I think know exactly what they're doing. They just don't know any other way to live. They're that horrible. There's some other people, they think it's the right thing to do. But there are some people out there who realize that their life is miserable and that they are miserable. But they can't stand it when they see somebody else going through life peacefully. They're happy with themselves and they're happy with who they are, and because these miscreants aren't, nah, we can't have that. No, you gotta be fucked up too. Instead of actually trying to be happy themselves. So everything that brings pleasure to us has to be a sin. And it doesn't even have to be of a sexual or an indulgence type of nature. You like to dance, you like to listen to music, you like reading certain books. No, that's a sin. You can't smile at that shit. The only thing that should make you happy is submitting to our Father Sky God. That's the only thing that should make you fucking happy. Is there anything else on this planet that makes me happy? It must be destroyed and you must be destroyed. You need to turn away from that stuff. Now, some people might say that I'm bringing this to an extreme. But you guys might remember we have a certain term for that. It's called a Puritan attitude. And we say these things are Puritan attitudes because they were a group of people called the Puritans who lived precisely in that way. If you so much as danced, you were considered under the spell of the devil. Dancing! Just ask some of the women that they've burned at the stake. I find this also rather interesting that we look at groups like these, the old, long gone religious miscreants. We look at them with scorn. We look at them with derision. We like, you know, we like just shun them and denounce them. And it's not just the free thinkers who do that. Religious types do it too. You know, and I'm not just talking about the actual thinking religious types. And as much as some people might think that's an oxymoron, no, there are religious types who believe in a God, but they are still, human enough to realize that not everything needs to be based on dogma, and they chafe at these idiots just as much as we do. But even some of the most fanatical will go, but we're not like them. We're not like them. Spanish Inquisition, those weren't real Christians. The Puritans burning women for no reason, no, those weren't real Christians. The Crusades, those bishops were bad, but the ones we got now are okay. We got all these guys in the past, perfect examples of horrible human beings. And each time their reign is over, the next batch of people go on and say, oh, we aren't going to be like them. We're nothing like them. We're the good guys. And then they do the exact same shit. Just in a different flavor. But it's the same shit. It's now the year 2009. We're about to hit August. Well, as I'm recording this, it's not August yet. It's going to be August tomorrow. And we still have these people walking around today. They're still here. They may not be called Puritans. They may not be the Spanish Inquisition people or just regular Inquisition people. They may not be the types who, caused the Crusades or went and did the pillaging and burning that went on during the Middle East and, in a way, kind of taught them how to be terrorists. It's none of these types. The missionaries who effed up different countries, they're not under those names anymore. What's the same mentality? They're under a new group of names now. And these days, they pick some nicer sounding names. Some beautiful sounding stuff. And they take up some nice sounding causes. Honorable sounding stuff like the, protection of marriage or a values commission. And they always fill their names of whatever organizations they happen to be a part of with beautiful sounding and noble sounding words. Protection of marriage, family values, the morals commission, and all this other crap, and they're the same people that civilization has been fighting against ever since we first started forming up into groups. It's the same people. There is nothing honorable about them. And when one realizes this, when one realizes the type of people they are, you can't help but start feeling a bit hostile towards them. The same way a sheep might look at a wolf and just happen to, when a cat sees another hostile animal and the fur starts standing up in the back and the claws start coming out, you can't help it. Because they're a detriment. They're here to harm our lives. And what makes that horrible is that as we're saying this, we start sounding like them. These atheists are here to completely ruin life. They are Satan. And then here we are going, look at these people. They're here to destroy our lives. It's the same stuff. And then after a while you step back and, oh my God, I'm turning into them. That's how bad it is. And then that's when and then I can understand, Sarahon, when you just kind of want to step away from it. Because you're getting that same ugly sort of mentality. Which you can't help but be around them because you know that when they look at you, they want to tear you down because they do not see you as a human being. That's, I think, what's the scariest part of it. They'll call you something else and they'll put a special weight behind that label. This is also one of the reasons why I keep saying you can't fight for racial rights or sexual rights. You got to fight for human rights because they've already tainted the labels. You may not think it's tainted, but when they say it, it is. When a homophobe says those homosexuals, there's a weight behind it. And when they say that term and say that stupid gay person, right there, they're using that instead of human being. They're not just saying this as this is a human who happens to be gay, so I'll call them a gay person or homosexual. No, this person is not human, they're a homosexual. See the difference? Or in the past, and it's still going on now, that black person, not a human being, that woman, that Chinese person. Now I'm saying the nice terms. We know the other names that these people like to say. But they don't see you as human. And we look at them, and at first we go, these are some misguided human beings, these are effed up human beings, and it's also why many of us can look at them and say, I don't care what you believe, do you? But sometimes they, the crap that they do gets us so pissed off that we start doing the same thing they do. But those fucking Christians, those fucking Muslims, now we're not seeing them as humans either. And it's this vicious cycle. So what the hell can we do about it? I don't know. There's only two things I can think of. One is the route you say was to ridicule, which I think, quite frankly, when something is that ridiculously stupid, all you can do is ridicule it to get other people to see just how silly it is. But you also gotta find a way to detach yourself from it. And I guess that's where the wisdom of the East comes in. Detachment. Don't get too involved. Besides, life's not all that worth taking seriously anyway.